Hello everyone, welcome to EDC Glow and Gears. Today I wanted to test TS23 and TS28. I wanted to test their beam shot, what is the intensity of their beam, and how does these two different reflectors they work. So one, we have a very smooth reflector with SFT 70.2, and for this we have XHP70 DHI. So this is a crumpled or rough reflector with a very big emitter, which you can see we have four pieces of emitter baked into one die. And for this we have, I think, uh, two we have two of them baked into one die. So I wanted to go out and test how these two compete with each other. And along with that, I wanted to add this small guy, which is TS12, because it's a very potent mini thrower. So this also has a SFT25R, and because of that smooth reflector and SFT25R, it creates a very intense, compact hotspot. So let's go out. Before we go out, let's go ahead and see what we get. So let me bring a white paper so that we can see how the beams look. So, okay, so this is SFT 70.2. Let me go to step tramping. So this is low, medium, high. So, okay. This. So you can see the hotspot, very compact, very precise hotspot. For TS23, you don't get to see the hotspot in this particular test because it has a crumpled reflector, but the throw is really good. So let me lower the light. Okay, now this is TS28, which has a smooth reflector, and you can see the beam. So the beam shot is going to look really nice. So I'm going to do it outdoor so that you can see. But I just wanted to show you how the beam pattern looks. So if I go to medium and then high, medium, high, and then medium, high. So TS12 has a really compact hotspot, and you get to see a nice spill, nice and smooth spill. For uh, let me write down. Yes, for TS23, you get to see a very good hotspot and a very smooth spill. And for TS28, let me lower this. Yes, for TS28, you can see a very good intensity of hotspot and a clear spill. So that's how it looks. So let's go outside and see how it looks on the ground and from the top. All right, so today we have Wurkkos TS28, we have Wurkkos TS12, and the big brother TS23. So let's see how they perform. So let me start with Wurkkos TS12. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the moonlight mode. You can barely see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do stepped, so it will be much easier to compare. So on the left is TS12 at the lowest, and on the right is TS28 on the lowest, TS12 in medium, TS28 at medium. So you can see TS12 has a defined hotspot in front of TS28. It has a larger hotspot. but it is not as defined as TS12. So let's move to high. Now both are on high. So TS12 has a pointed, very focused hotspot. In terms of TS28, it has a slightly larger hotspot. And if I put it to a distance, TS28 reaches quite a bit of a distance, where TS28 loses the brightness in the center. So let's put both of them in turbo. 1, 2. So TS28 12 is in turbo. 1, 2. Now TS28 is on turbo. So you can see this is on the left. You see TS12. Now this is TS28, TS12, TS28, TS12. This is TS28. So in terms of brightness, TS12 has a hotspot which is far more defined. You can see it's smaller, but it's far more intense. And TS28 has a larger hotspot, but the intensity is slightly on the lower side. But overall, TS28 has a better brightness. So let me put it to high. 1, 2, high. So you can see TS12 has a intense hotspot, wherein TS28 has a larger hotspot, gives you a better amount of vision, but the hotspot is not that intense. So let me put it turbo. Sorry, turbo. You can see there's a bird going. Turbo. So here's TS12 and here's TS28. You can see TS12 at the highest brightness. This is turbo, and this is TS28 and turbo. TS12, TS28. And one thing I'm noticing for both the flashlight, in turbo, the head is getting really hot. So let me switch it off. Now let me get TS23 and allow the TS28 to cool down. So this is TS23, which is the elder brother. So let me make sure we are on the lowest. All right, so now on my left is TS28, on my right we have TS23. So in this you can see TS28 has a more focused hotspot, where the TS23 has a flush flood. So let's go to medium. Let's go to medium on 23. Yes, so you can see it has a intense hotspot, where TS23 is more of a flood. So let me go to high. Let me go to high. So on the right you see TS23, and on the left it is TS28. So this has a more pronounced hotspot, but TS23 has a more flushed hotspot. It doesn't have a proper hotspot, but it is completely flush, so you have a better vision all around rather than having a small hotspot. So let me double tap high or turbo. So when I put these two side by side in terms of turbo, both are amazing. Uh, both are amazing. On the left, you can see the TS23, sorry, TS28. On the right, you see TS23. It spreads the light very well. And TS28 has a intense hotspot with a right amount of spill. So side by side, this is TS28 and this is TS23. Both are amazing, and TS28 is pushing the throw slightly better than the TS23. However, the TS23 seems to be larger, and has more output than TS28. And let me step it down because it's getting pretty hot. You can see TS28 has already stepped down and TS23 is still going on. All right, so let me switch it off. Let me get the TS12 and see side by side. So on my left, I have the TS12, and on my right, we have the TS23. So this is low and this is low. TS12 has a more pronounced hotspot, and TS23 has a roundish flood, medium, medium. You can see TS12 has a better hotspot, a very intense hotspot, and TS23 has a more rounded flood, high, high. So the TS23 is reaching pretty far because of the hotspot and the focus beam, where TS23 is giving you a better vision and overall clarity. So double tap, sorry, double tap. So this is the turbo. This is the turbo for TS12 on the left, and this is the turbo for TS23. This is TS23. Side by side. So this is TS23, this is TS12. And in turbo, both the lights are getting pretty hot. So you can see there are a few birds going on. The TS23 is eliminating the entire area, but if I point this, you can see it has a very focused, intense throw where I can easily point out the bird. In turbo, both the TS23 and the TS12 is getting pretty hot. Let me switch it off. So here's the comparison of TS12, TS23, and the TS28. So I say this is the smallest brother or the youngest brother. I think this is the middle child, TS28, and the big brother is TS23. All right, let's get back inside. All right, so you saw how it looks outdoor and the beam shot. So I wanted to say that these three are amazing. First of all, they are extremely value for money. I don't know how Wurkkos does that, but they are exceptional. Be it the beam quality or the build quality, the reflector, the LEDs, everything is amazing for these three. So for me, I am very happy that I got all these three. And for your purpose, you can go ahead and decide what sort of flashlight is your requirement. So for this, it is a very good search and rescue, but it's slightly on the bigger side. The head is slightly big. You can see the size or the height is probably almost the same, but it is slightly smaller. The TS20 is slightly smaller. The head is slightly smaller, so this is still more pocketable. But TS23, you can consider this for pocket, but it's better if you have a holster or you can carry it in a jacket, so that will be fine. But TS12 is in a different ball game altogether. So this is extremely pocketable. You can see it is barely bigger than my palm, and I'm in love with these three. So now, depending on your scenario and use case, you can pick any of these three and you will be extremely happy. So let me know if you have any suggestion, if you have any question before you make any of the purchase. I will love to help you out. If you have any question, if you want to see certain beam shot or any specification you want to know in real world condition, I will be very happy to help you with that. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you have anything you want to communicate with us, you can definitely leave a comment. And if you like this content, please subscribe so that when we put out new videos, you can get it soon. All right. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Good day. Bye.